DC police have launched an investigation into a shooting during a traffic stop.
Police say a Homeland Security agent who is part of the president's federal task force fired those shots. No one was injured, but a DC police officer who was part of the stop testified in court that he was told by his superior not to include any of the details about the shooting in his arrest report.
As News 4's Mark Segraves reports tonight, all of this is raising questions about accountability and transparency surrounding federal agents who are patrolling with D.C. police.
Ain't no racist USA!
A small group of protesters gathered outside D.C. police headquarters this morning to bring attention to the shooting incident and what they call an attempted cover-up by police.
And MPD went out of their way to cover it up.
According to two separate police reports and this charging document, it was the evening of October 17th here on Benning Road when police attempted to pull over 33-year-old Philip Brown because he did not have a front license plate. Police say Brown attempted to flee. When Brown's vehicle came to a stop, according to his attorneys, a federal agent drew their weapon and fired at least 3 shots into Brown's car. These photos show the bullet holes in Brown's car door window and passenger seat. Brown was not armed.
If there was a passenger in this seat, they would be dead. You cannot be a part of a Make America Safe initiative when you're shooting at unarmed people in a routine traffic stop. The feds aren't making D.C. streets safer. They're making them more dangerous.
According to Brown's attorneys, one of the bullets passed through the collar of Brown's jacket. Brown was arrested and charged with fleeing from police, but the charges were quickly dismissed. News 4 reviewed the arrest report and charging documents in the case. Neither mentioned the federal agent firing their weapon at Brown. In fact, the police report indicates no shots were fired. Brown's criminal attorney told the Washington Post that during Brown's court hearing, the D.C. police officer who wrote that report testified that he was told by one of his superiors not to include any mention of the shooting in his arrest report. NPD would not comment on the officer's testimony, but did provide News 4 with a separate police report filed the day after the incident by a different officer about the HSI agent discharging their weapon. A spokesperson for MPD tells News 4 the shooting is under internal investigation. The Metropolitan Police Department's Internal Affairs Bureau is investigating an officer-involved shooting by an agent of Homeland Security investigations that occurred the evening of Friday, October 17th. MPD investigates all shootings involving members of law enforcement that occur in the District of Columbia. The case will be independently reviewed by the U.S. Attorney's Office. Brown did not participate in today's protest, and his attorneys would not make him available for questions.
Mr. Brown is traumatized. Being as a black man stopped by the police, it is already a terrifying situation, but I don't think that anybody is prepared to see or hear or feel gunshots coming through their vehicle. It is it's certainly a traumatizing event, and he is coping as best as one can.
Brown's attorneys are considering a civil lawsuit. They say they want to review any body-worn camera video from the incident. They're calling for more transparency in how D.C. police coordinate with federal agents.
The problem with the lack of transparency is it becomes very hard to advocate for your rights and get justice when you don't know who's in charge, when the evidence is being covered up, and you don't know where accountability lies in an incident like this.
In the district, Mark Segraves, News 4.
News 4 has reached out to the Department of Homeland Security and the U.S. Attorney's Office for comment. Neither has replied. The D.C. Council will hold its first oversight hearing on the federal surge tomorrow morning for the public. More than 50 people have signed up to testify.